Thank God it's Friday. Well, what you're just about to watch, it may confuse you a little bit because I looked a little younger. Yes, because I'm just about to share Thank God it's Friday 2024. This is a series that every Friday shows you the activities here at Salento with Love, or probably the run around that I take place in my life on a weekly basis with many beautiful things happening. But this is 2024, remember. So whenever you are leaving a comment, remember that we are back in 2024. If you'd like to subscribe to the 2025, well then do that by subscribing to the Thank God it's Friday 2025. And also, when you're visiting Puglia, come stop here by the office and one of these fabulous books will be waiting for you together with a lot of other things. So enjoy Thank God. Good morning and thank God it's Friday, but it's only Monday morning. I've just arrived in the town of Parabita. My client is here for a few days. Now I do so many series I actually forgot. I think it's the rebirth or reborn house, something like that. It's just the idea of returning the life to a beautiful building, and that's where we are. So I kept my visit in Parabita quiet, but it was wonderful to meet you, George, and to go through with your wife and your brother visiting from the US. Fantastic. Now I'm back at Passion and Vision. We're just finishing off this. We're just waiting for this door to be installed. They just dropped it off this morning. And I'm here in Corigliano. Definitely Rome wasn't built in one night. So first of all, we've actually reclosed this, which finally now we've managed to route the water from this property, the rainwater, outside where it should be by law rather than in the sewer. Now this house here, it's gone through an amazing change because the sewer from the toilets was getting discharged into a septic tank, an old ancient septic tank, and the rainwater was going in the same place. You can imagine, you know, in the heat like now, the smell that could arise from a place like that. Still a lot of work today because rather than having an external pipe, we've chased the wall and embedded the rainwater that comes from this little roof here. There is going to come inside the wall and being discharged in there. This one, we're going to replace it, move it along the way. Will give us the option one day if we want to make this window a little larger by moving it and locking it into that space over there. It means that all the rainwater, including the rainwater that will be produced in the garden, by giving the right inclination, will end up into this little well, and then everything is going to go to the street. Back here at Passion and Vision, and this bathroom is coming along. So it's actually working out how many leftovers it's gonna have. So how many you can afford to break.
Quanto ti puoi permettere di rompere, no?
17 segno di qui. In teoria rimane 20, però c'è la giovinata già.
I must admit, this heat, it's been pretty intense. In fact, yesterday I think I was like wandering around like a zombie from the office, from one building site to another. In the morning you start and you think, oh yeah, nice and fresh, but yeah, quite intense. And also, I think, does it happen to you when you're building up to a period? Well, here in Italy in August everything slows down, so tomorrow, beginning of August, and you already kind of sense that spirit of holiday and calmness. So yeah, I look at my diary and I'm thinking, wow, so many things to do, but then they get less and less as you're getting into the middle of August. But anyway, this morning I'm at Frada, just checking out a couple of materials, and we're here at Palazzo Lillo. The work of the electricians continues. I know when you're looking at a building in this sort of state, you think, oh, there is not development. This phase requires quite a quite a bit of thinking. Sometimes you may have a blueprint of where things are going, but it's also good to sort of think a little bit ahead and perhaps add those extra elements that allow you to have flexibility. And oh my God, always the same amount of rubble that gets produced. You think, how can you produce so much rubble just by cutting little strips into the floor? But now we are in Lecce. Work also here is progressing well, where the electrician almost finished doing all this dirty work. And between the plumber and the electrician, always a bit of a challenge. Who creates more of a mess? But we're almost there here, just finalizing a few things. Now we are in the heart of Lecce, so sometimes it's a little bit complicated to remove rubble and remove things. So when you're doing a project as well in a place like this, you want to do as much as you can and then just maximize your resources just by sending the refuse to pick up all at once. So here we've got a little bit of everything piling up, the old doors and windows, the rubble, a few other pieces. So once the electrical is finished, everything can be cleared up, cleaned everything up, and then getting ready for the flooring, for the tiling to happen. This area is changing completely, so we're building a wall here, so as you're coming through the hallway, you'll go straight outside into this beautiful outside area. Good morning on this beautiful Wednesday morning. The city's still asleep, and I love this time in the morning. You can hear the birds, very nice and quiet. And I'm here on Wednesday just preparing for my weekly meeting at Palazzo Angelini. Work is continuing here in this courtyard. Oh, this has been truly transformed over the last few weeks. I always sort of think about my Thank God It's Fridays. I sometimes forget to turn the camera on all day and full of many things. Just wondering how you feel about watching the regular activities here in Salento. Me personally, I feel I'm filled with gratitude with what has been happening over the years. So that's one of the main reasons why I love sharing what happens over here. If I think that this week again we've delivered another property, Palazzo Bella, and the family it's in there, I think it's amazing. And while I'm walking to Mississippi with love, I've probably walked past more than half a dozen properties that I've been personally responsible for refurbishing them and bringing the life back in. So this is the main reason why I like to share this with everyone watching the Thank God It's Friday. Maybe not a full video on YouTube, but I still believe that this building is coming along so amazing, and the refurb here has been going through different stages, and so now it's almost aligned, waiting for the new windows to be installed. But beautiful to see the new lighting that are getting fitted everywhere. I love this model from 1910. Almost there now, finishing the electrical, putting the AC units, and then finishing the bathroom. Once the doors, the beautiful doors in wood are fitted in the old original style, and this aluminium shutters are removed, then I really believe that we're reinstating the original beauty of the facade of this period beautiful palazzo. Well, I love when the week is getting closer and closer to the end, but still so much to do. I'm just meeting with Antonio this morning from Cubico to measure up a couple of spaces, including a couple of kitchens for Mississippi with Love, and getting the project almost to a closing stage. Buongiorno. Antonio, buongiorno. Eccomi. Eccoci qua. Diciamo che dalla cosa originale non mi dispiacerebbe discostarmi facendo una cucina tutta bassa lì e l'isolotto qui. Però è lunghissima, saranno quasi 5 metri, 4 metri. Quindi sull'isola mettiamo soltanto i fuochi e il lavabo. Io direi di lasciare sull'isola più spazio possibile. Però mi piace veramente che se ce lo studiamo bene, possiamo centrare quel mobile all'isola. Tony Mark, so I'm with Antonio this morning, and he's going to readjust the renders for this kitchen. I'll turn the camera around and show you what we've discussed. Qui. Just in case you don't know where we are, we're in Casa Grey on this Thank God It's Friday, and we're just preparing for renders.
Questa cosa sbagliata così e va bene, allora ti sto Monico a sorsa. Allora io ti dico una cosa, ti dici no, non è vero, è così, allora io mi preoccupo. Allora ha risposto Monico, ha detto così disse Monico a sorsa, lascia perdere.
And thank God it's Friday. The sea in the background, just about leaving the house. I got my second class this morning of, studying to get my license, my skipper license. And then I have a closing at the notary. Then I have some sites visits. I got my osteopath. So I will say, thank God it's Friday, but what a beautiful Friday. Look at the sea. Life is definitely beautiful. We just arrived at the notary and I've got Giacomo with me. You probably know Giacomo. Thank God it's Friday, Giacomo. But it's an interesting sell this because the vendors are not here. So, and the buyers are not here. So who you do represent?
The buyers.
It's one of those really strange situations where in the room with the notary, we don't have the buyer, we don't have the seller. But anyway, it's fantastic. We're at a different notary because it was chosen by the agent representing the buyer. Isn't it funny? He represents the buyer but didn't want to be the power of attorney. Yeah, not an happy day, to be honest, for the vendors or the buyers. This is probably a negative note towards notaries in Italy, which I think for the British people or for the American people, you don't really realize the power that notaries do have in the society or in the context of society in Italy. They could really make the difference between putting a whole country on hold. Well, the situation today was that East Bank made a mistake in allocating the sum of money that was supposed to go into the client account rather than his business account, to then disburse the payment towards the vendor. The bank receives the money from the buyer and the bank sees the name, they recognize the name, and rather than going by account number and SWIFT code, they go by the name. Well, only in Italy sometimes things like that happen. And this afternoon is his last day of business. Remember, Italy comes to a little bit of a standstill in August. He decides that on the 2nd of August, being a Friday, is his last day, and then he's closing on holiday and he's reopening on Monday the 26th of August. And here we are. We are meeting up at a notary on Monday the 26th of August to complete. Now this means that the vendor it's not going to be able to get the money because the property is still theirs until the 26th, and the buyer obviously cannot take possession. With that in mind, probably reinforces my idea, and this is only on the Thank God It's Friday if you're watching this, the mechanism that I've put into place, working with a notary that understands the business and how delicate it is. The whole mechanism of working with the foreign clients and foreign market gives so much strength to what I do. If it would have been the notary that I was handling, he would have opened the office on Monday or Tuesday when the money had been transferred into the right account, and we would have completed, or he would have found a different solution. And so sometimes you understand really the importance in life, and this is probably a little lesson in life, that building up relationships in business are valuable more than anything else that you can think of. The idea of having people in certain positions that can really make things happen when it's important for them to happen is very, very, very important. So yeah, just I think one of the interesting points in this week, thank God it's Friday. And I must say, thank God it happened on the Friday, because thank God it's Friday. Anyway, now I'm outside my osteopath, and I think I do need a treatment pretty badly.
Poi qui abbiamo la cucina che loro la vogliono tutta su questa parete qui.
So just to wrap up my Friday, I'm at Casa Grey at the moment, and we're just looking at the plumbing and the cooling system and the hot water system. So quite a lot of things to think about, and the engineer now is taking care of that. So that's what we are doing. Now let's wrap up this Friday at Mississippi with love. It's been 3 days of putting this all into place. So perfect now.
Buon fine settimana.
Ciao. And I'm walking away. It's been a very intense week, and definitely a very intense Friday. Started beautifully well with the license for the boat, and it's been a very, very fruitful week. Very happy with this week. Very happy with things taking place and shape. I'm sure you've had a beautiful week as well. And all I'll say at the end of a week is I'll see you next Friday. Thank you very much for supporting and following the channel. And stay safe wherever you are. I was that. Yeah, I looked younger. Different hairstyle as well. Subscribe to 2025, and I'll see you every week on a Friday. Stay safe wherever you are.